Nat Sherman is the leading American luxury brand in premium cigars. From the classic range of the Metropolitan and Host selections to the transformative Timeless collection, their elegant Sterling and limited edition offerings, or the bold and commemorative 1930 blend and Epoca, everyone has the opportunity to enjoy a Nat Sherman experience. Family owned and operated since 1930, Nat Sherman's tradition of innovation and commitment to excellence reminds us why America's Nat Sherman brand is known as tobacconist to the world.
Love to Hate, the podcast that asks the question, what do you love to hate?
You are a smelly pirate hooker.
And I hate your ass face!
Do you love it?
No!
Do you hate it?
Oh, yes! Yes!
You stupid, ignorant son of a bitch, dumb bastard!
I fart in your general direction!
No more foreplay.
Hey kids, it's Monday, so that means it's time for another edition of Love to Hate. I'm Philip Fullman.
And I am Brandon Loon.
Brandon, we're coming upon the warmer months. We're coming upon summer.
Yes, sir.
You know what that means? Summer movies.
Oy.
That's something that we could hate on, isn't it?
Yeah, we could definitely hate on summer movies.
Summer movies usually, that's not what you're going to see come Academy Awards season.
No.
Not a lot of summer movies are going to be listed there in anything other than the special effects, maybe music.
Sound design.
Yeah, something like that. But that's not really where you roll out something that has a story to it.
Not if you want to make money, no. If you want to make money, you wait till the later times of the year for that type of thing.
Or if you want a movie that people can watch that has a story. But it hasn't always been that way. Because I think they credit the first summer blockbuster movie was really Jaws.
Jaws was the start of that.
Then you had, I think,
Star Wars.
Star Wars, Close Encounters.
Right.
Some of the Indiana Jones films. So there used to be some really good summer movies. When I remember it kind of going to hell was when they rolled out Independence Day. And that was a big thing.
Yeah.
Overhyped. You could get the soda cups everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It was going to be on 47 screens in one theater.
Right.
And then the summer after that, or a couple of summers after that, you had Godzilla, that giant turd with Ferris Bueller in it.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like every summer since then, there's been another just crap franchise that's overhyped. And I think we actually have another Transformers movie coming out this summer. I think we've got Power Rangers.
Right. See, if you watch Godzilla as Ferris Bueller's Day Off Part 2, it's actually pretty good.
Okay, so it was
that
just the perception?
Yeah, if you watch it as Ferris Bueller's Day Off, it's not bad.
Okay.
Really bad next day off for him.
Gotcha. I can do that. He looks the
Try
same.
it that way, yeah.
So, what are we going to be bothered?
to?
Yeah, what do I have to not look forward to? Because I know Star Wars doesn't come out until December.
Right.
The trailer on that landed about a week or so ago, or the teaser trailer. Couldn't tell much. It's a teaser trailer.
Right, everything was dark.
Yeah, but
Lots
based on Force Awakens and Rogue One, I am hopeful.
Right, me too.
But there's a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of stuff coming out. First big one to really hit is Guardians of the Galaxy 2, which I think will be good. I liked the first one a lot.
It might be tougher because there are now expectations. Well, I now have expectations for it.
Yeah, especially.
But I hope it's good. I hope they kept the story because that's what really held Guardians together for me.
Right. And I think you're going to see some character growth there that might go in directions that you're not expecting, like the whole Groot baby thing. I think sounds kind of annoying to me. I'm not looking forward to that, but I'm looking forward to seeing, how I don't know the character's name, the big guy. The dumb big guy.
Dax?
How Dax grows as a character. I think he's going to have to have some growth. He still can't be the stupid guy that he was in the first one. I don't think, being around people that much, but you never know. We'll see. So I'm hopeful for that. I think Marvel's done a very good job for the most part at making effective superhero
Well, and it's got the same
movies.
screenwriter, so hopefully.
Right. Same director, so that's good. The next big one after that's a CGI nightmare probably as well, is Spider-Man Homecoming. Now, this is the first time that Marvel/Disney is doing a Spider-Man movie.
Right,
it's always been in the hands
done
of
a sign-off
Sony.
with Sony. So it's a Sony film, but Marvel had some creative control over it.
Right.
Robert Downey makes an appearance in it. If you look at the trailer, it seems like he's in it quite a bit. Everything you read, they're like, no, it's a very small part.
Right. Batman's in it.
Yeah.
Not as Batman, but yeah.
But he is in it.
He's the bad guy.
Yeah, that's
Michael
true.
Keaton. Yeah.
Is the animatronic vulture or whatever. I don't know how they've come up with his costume, but he's another Birdman.
Right. Birdman.
I
2,
wasn't
Electric
impressed. I wasn't impressed with the trailer. And again, that's the thing with trailers. They, you don't want to give away too much, so there's a lot of red herrings in there. But if it goes the way the trailer's making it seem, I'm not going to like it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to like the story because Tony Stark gives him the suit and makes the suit. And here's a guy who invents his own web fluid. He's a genius. Why can't he make his own suit?
Right.
Unless it's just a way to tie, Tony Stark in, because you had Tony Stark make Ultron, which isn't true to the comic books, and I get that you have to make some adjustments, but just the idea of, hey, we're going to put Stark in here to build Spidey's suit, I really don't like that. At least it's not organic web shooters.
Right.
What else we got?
The next big one we have is Wonder Woman in June 2nd.
Yeah, that didn't look so hot.
Yeah, but Zack Snyder only producing, directed by someone who's done some pretty good flicks, and she's a woman, so I'm kind of
Did you just say even though she's a woman?
No, I said and she's a woman.
Oh, okay.
So,
I just
woman director,
wanted to clarify.
woman subject, I think that might work.
Right.
And I'm kind of excited. Out of all the stuff that the DC's doing, that's the only one that
so
I'm
far
kind
it
of
looks
excited
better
for.
than everything else.
Yeah.
They still do a lot of that slow-mo crap, slow-mo action stuff.
Chris Pine's in it. You got Captain Kirk in it, so that's kind of okay.
I still don't really buy her as Wonder Woman, but I'm hoping the story. I'm hoping it's a good story and it's just not heavy CGI.
Right.
But there is a lot of those. I don't know, those fallbacks.
Right.
Slow motion, the music. We'll see. I'm hopeful. She's no Linda Carter though.
No, she's not. No, and she's definitely way too small for the role. But they'll make her larger via CGI. Like they did in the first one. Did you notice that the scene where she's standing next to Superman and Batman? She's
make her taller or what?
Them. Yeah,
really?
Yeah, no, she's like 5'2".
No, I didn't notice that.
No, I think she's 5'9". She's at least 5'9".
She was a model, so she can't be short.
So
what else we got?
Alien Covenant, which even though those are effectively back in Ridley Scott's hand, I still wasn't a real big fan of Prometheus.
Right.
So we'll see. That's a wait and see for me.
That's another one like what we talked about last week with zombies. Alien kind of became this
Right. Once they started attaching it to Predator, it just kind of went and got the tooth knocked right out of it. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm hopeful. I would love to have another scary alien movie, but I don't necessarily know that that's going to happen. We'll see. This is a big one, man. And this is I'm so on the fence about this because I love this director and I pretty much love everything he does, whether he's directing or producing. But this looks like a fucking mess. And it's Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. It looks like a total CGI nightmare.
Yeah.
And it's written and directed by Luc Besson, who did one of my favorite movies, Fifth Element, which is like one of my favorite, like just fun sci-fi movies. So I love Luc Besson. He's The Professional. He's a great filmmaker. But I don't know.
This one just doesn't.
I mean, it just looks like a CGI mess. So we'll see. I'm very hopeful for it. But I also think it's going to really flop because it's got no names in it and it just looks like a CGI nightmare. Here's one I'm kind of hopeful for as well because I've liked the other two that they've done. I think people kind of gave up on it, but I thought it was pretty cool. War for the Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
So did you
the
see
first
the
two
other?
I did not.
Oh, come on.
I know. I need to.
They're good.
That's what I hear. And because the two new ones they did, that was really basically the origin of.
Right. Yeah, I think it's
those have looked good. They didn't look like the ones with
the one that what's his name,
Marky Mark did or
Curry
whatever.
Did,
Yeah.
And then we got The Mummy. That's another big CGI nightmare with Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
so I think that will effectively kill The Mummy.
Probably.
I don't think it's going to do well.
I think that's one where he's probably phoning it in.
You got kind of two strikes against it because you got Tom Cruise and his movies typically don't do well, and then you've got The Mummy, which people just don't care about. So I don't know. We'll see. The Dark Tower. Stephen King stuff. Supposed to be good.
Yeah, a lot of his stuff doesn't translate to film, though.
No, it doesn't because he can't end anything.
Yeah,
He's the
that's
worst
true.
at ending things. Giant space spider. What the hell are you talking about? Spoiler for It, by the way, if you're going to watch that. Number 12, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
Pirates 8. Whatever,
they'll just back the money up. That I haven't seen the other three because I don't care.
Right.
I'm not a little kid, so.
I
know some parents got into it. You probably watched it with your kids.
Yeah, and I liked it.
I didn't.
I liked the first two. but the rest was crap.
So,
This one actually looks like a good movie, and I don't know why they're releasing this in the summer, called Detroit. It's based on the whole Detroit riots.
I was going to say, it could be Detroit yesterday. I mean,
Yeah.
it just seems scary. It's about Detroit.
Right, yeah. But no, the trailer looks really good. It's got the guy
Okay.
from Force Awakens in it. I don't know his name. The main guy that played...
yeah, him.
Yeah.
That played Finn.
Was it Finn? Yeah, there you go. Guy who
Okay,
played Finn,
yeah, I don't remember his name.
So
but-
it seems like it's a drama, very effectively done. I mean, the commercial's great. The trailer for it is really, really good. And I want to see it, but I don't know if I'll see it in the theater because it's a drama. So, one of those.
What else you got on there?
They're trying King Arthur again, apparently.
What?
King Arthur, Legend of the Sword.
So that's going to be CGI heavy. They're going to do a medieval CGI heavy.
Directed by Guy Ritchie, so that's one good thing.
That's in its favor.
Yeah, that might work for it. But his CGI stuff, like the Sherlock Holmes stuff he did...
I didn't care for it.
Yeah.
I didn't care for the Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah, I'm with you. And then we got Despicable Me 3, which is a kid's movie.
I didn't see the first two, so I probably shouldn't see this one yet.
Baywatch.
What?
You didn't know they made a Baywatch movie?
No,
Does it
trying to figure out why. Yeah, I don't know why. Who?
Zac Efron, The Rock, bunch of other hot chicks.
So they're going to make a bigger spoof out of it than it actually was
Yes.
when they tried to do it.
Yes.
And Hasselhoff, of course,
Of
is
course
in
he's
it.
in it because he does. What is he doing? He's not doing
Yeah.
anything. So yeah, that'll be
be horrible.
It'll be horrible, but it'll make a ton of money, I bet. More kids movies, Cars 3, Captain Underpants. So it's not as CGI heavy this summer as I thought. Transformers: The Last Night, that'll be a big.
That'll
CGI
be
mess.
big.
And then a lot of kids movies. So and it looks like there's a good amount of dramas actually coming out. This one I don't understand at all. The Hitman's Bodyguard.
Oh, now wait a minute. I've heard of this. Ryan Reynolds and Sam Jackson.
Right.
Todd Vance told me about this.
Okay.
Todd's roommate from college is a screenwriter.
Oh, he wrote the screenplay for
Todd's buddy wrote this.
that? Okay, so he wrote The Revenant, and now
Yes.
he's writing this?
Yes. Apparently they backed a truck up. And he said they basically he got to spend time in a hotel room with Ryan Reynolds for a weekend and said that's him. What you see on screen, that's him.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's where I think Sam Jackson is the badass and actually needs a bodyguard.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I that to me again, premise has wheels, but it's Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, the thing that got me was the poster for it. Looks like The Bodyguard.
Oh Lord!
So it's got Ryan Reynolds holding
Sam Jackson, yeah.
in that same color scheme from the Bodyguard poster with Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner. So that's kind of funny. I don't know, man. I mean, we're not getting Star Wars till December,
right?
So that kind of sucks. What else? I mean, is there? Anything else
you got Justice League coming out. I think November timeframe, unless they push it back because they realize it doesn't screen well in the pre-screens.
Which is totally possible
Because
They've
it
done
looks
that before.
because
They've
it
done
looks
that
like
before.
crap,
Yeah, it really does.
and I'm sure it is crap.
But what's funny is it's people are one or the other, man. You got people who loved freaking everything Batman. They loved Suicide Squad, and they're gonna love this.
Yeah, which I didn't care for either.
So
Well,
yeah.
and to be fair, still haven't seen Suicide Squad.
Yeah, well, you need to see it so you can just
Bag on it.
yeah. The Emoji Movie, another kid movie. Which
I don't
doesn't
get
need
that.
to be done at all. And they're trying Amityville again. Amityville: The Awakening. Like, why is that coming to theaters? That should be
I don't
straight
know.
to video.
Video, yeah. They just keep going back to the well with the same stuff.
So we've got equal measure kids movies and sci-fi.
Well, and
crazy
kids' movies make sense because they're out for the summer.
Right.
So what are you going to do?
There's a movie called Lowriders. What the hell?
Lowrider.
Yeah,
What's
it's
it
got a
about?
bunch of white people playing Mexicans in it. I'm just kidding. Thanks, Hollywood.
You may not be wrong.
No, it is. It's actually directed by a Hispanic guy, so it might be something my dad would probably watch, and I would.
Kind of like
never.
Ghost in the Shell.
Right? Yeah, Ghost in the Shell, CGI nightmare again. So yeah, I mean, I'm surprised they didn't wait for summer for that one. And
Was it one of those they wanted to get the jump on summer, make their bank because they knew it'd get drowned out in the summer?
Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I loved the anime when I saw it, and it was fun. And the thing about anime, they made a big deal about them kind of whitewashing it, and they made her white.
Right.
But you look at the anime stuff, and they draw their people as white.
I think
They don't draw them as
the original writer of it said she wasn't Asian. So
So there you go. But it just bombed at the box office because it probably had way too much CGI, not enough
Well,
story.
right. It didn't look like it had any story. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of what's number one at the box office now. I think it's
Boss Baby.
The one where Alec Baldwin plays Baby Trump.
Yep. Basically, yeah. That is the new cruelty. Part of the new cruelty that we have to deal with.
Yeah, nothing about that looked funny.
Nope.
But I'm not a kid.
No, and neither am I. And I unfortunately have a kid that wants to see it, so I'm sure I'll eventually see that piece of shit, but I don't want to see it right now. At all. Ever.
Just buy her a ticket and a bag of popcorn. Tell her you'll see her when the movie's out.
Right. I'm going to go watch something else. I don't think I can do that.
Yeah, I think it seems to be I don't know why. I guess it was because you had so many of those big blockbuster type movies come out that they decided, okay, this is when we're going to do it. But unlike Jaws, Raiders, Star Wars, they quit focusing on any part of the story. Right. And it all became about the visual effect of it.
Correct.
And so everything else got left behind. Mm-hmm. Because any of those others, they're watchable films. But there was a reason to watch them. Yep. And now there's just no reason to even tune into them. It was funny. I was up at our other shop, and Armageddon was on TNT or one of those. The sound was down mercifully, but you just watch it with the sound down. It's still a crap film. And my buddy Josh actually said to me, I don't know if this is an original comment or not, but he said, the first time I watched this, it dawned on me. It's like, wait, it's easier to train miners to become astronauts than it is to train astronauts to become miners. Valid point. Mm-hmm. But
I don't think Bruce Willis could play an astronaut. I think he can play a miner.
I think Bruce Willis could play an astronaut.
Think he can play an astronaut?
Yeah, I don't think Ben Affleck. I wouldn't buy him as an astronaut.
I would buy Steve Buscemi as an astronaut more than I would buy him as a miner.
Yeah. What's funny, the best comment about that movie when they asked Buscemi why he did it, he said, "I wanted a bigger house."
Right. Yeah.
Perfect honesty.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, I think Bruce Willis could play an astronaut.
I guess.
Old, retired, used to be in the Air Force, kind of grizzled.
Right. Yeah, okay, I guess I could see that. I don't know. He's on the straight to video path right now. Unfortunately,
he pretty much is. Him, John Cusack.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, they don't even do the whole movie. They show up for 5 minutes.
Get their
and then they put them on the cover.
Right.
And then everybody's like, "Oh, it's a Bruce Willis movie." And they're like, I haven't seen Bruce
Ben
Willis.
Affleck.
Right.
Who else is that? Robert De Niro. Like, oh my God, they're in a movie together. And they got no screen time.
Yeah, they're not in it together. Well, it was like London Has Fallen, which horrible movie. But they
piece of shit, right?
They make a big deal out of Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman's in it for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And by far the best 2 minutes of the whole stupid movie. Mm-hmm. And then it's over.
Yeah, such a bad.
Yeah.
Gerard Butler, poor guy, can't get a break. Good looking dude, in shape, can do some action flicks, gets The London Is Falling and the whatever that crap. What was the other one called? Olympus Is Falling.
Oh yeah, both horrible films. He really hasn't done well since 300.
No, he hasn't at all. He really hasn't.
He tried a romantic comedy, that didn't work. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he just hasn't been effective in much. He's just going to end up being the bad guy in movies, I guess, or something. I don't know.
You know what he could do?
What?
Jack Reacher.
Yeah, he could actually do Jack Reacher.
He would be much better than Tom Cruise.
Right.
And then you could quit saying, "Hey, bring in the apple cart, bring in the crate."
Right.
You're gonna have put Tom on this so it looks like he's as tall as this woman.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally don't get that.
I don't get that either.
So what are they going to do? Have a midget mummy so Tom's taller than that, or
well, that's why it's a
CGI? CGI. They make Tom look bigger.
I don't know. Who knows?
I don't get Tom Cruise. I really don't.
Yeah.
I don't understand it. It's like you said, and I think it's a great phrase, and I've kind of adopted it. Movie star, not actor.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's exactly it. You go to watch Tom Cruise be Tom Cruise.
Exactly.
But really about everything he's done is some variation on Maverick.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Ever since that, yeah. I mean, before that, he probably had maybe Slight Range, where he played the young kid for a couple of years. Like,
Risky Business.
But other than that, yeah, once he became Maverick, he was Maverick.
Yeah, that's true. Well, and think about Al Pacino. Mm-hmm. After Scarface and Scent of a Woman, quit acting.
Yeah,
he just shows up and yells.
Yeah, true.
So he doesn't really do anything, and which is odd because if you go back and watch the original Godfather, he does a lot of slow burn. He's quiet. you just really buy him in that role. He's introspective.
Right.
Great in that role, but now it's just he shows up and he's spastic. And he's yelling and it's quippy. It's like, he's better than that.
Right.
But, again,
You can go
they're back in a
they're
back in a
truck.
truck.
He's still doing
Oh.
he's still acting in that,
Yes.
But
He does a little bit more. But everybody in that film was great, though. Even probably Alec Baldwin's best role,
easily, yeah.
without doubt.
I agree. Alec Baldwin is he's good in that type of small role. When you get him in a full movie, not so much. I don't know. Yeah, so I mean, Tom Cruise was effectively an actor in before that with Taps and Outsiders and Losing It, Risky
Taps,
Business.
I really liked.
I liked that too. All the Right Moves, and then once you get to and even Legend was before Top Gun. Then you get to Top Gun, and he's basically, I've said this a million times on the other podcast. I don't know if I've said it here, but he basically plays the guy that's the best. He is the best. Tom Cruise, the best fighter pilot. Color of Money, Tom Cruise, the best pool player. Cocktail, Tom Cruise, the best bartender. Rain Man, Tom Cruise, the best asshole brother to a guy that's got a mental disability. Yeah. Born on the 4th of July, best cripple guy. Days of Thunder, best car. Days of Thunder was effectively it was a total remake of Top Gun with cars.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean he was the best in it forever for a long time.
What was the one where he was the best Irish immigrant?
Far and away.
Okay.
The best Irish immigrant boxer guy. Few Good Men, the best lawyer. The Firm, the best other lawyer. Interview with the Vampire, the best vampire.
I still do like A Few Good Men.
Yeah.
But again, written by Aaron Sorkin.
Right.
So that's why I tend to relate to that one.
Right.
Just because the dialogue
the
was
best
so...
spy. Magnolia, the best douchebag.
I liked him in Magnolia.
He was a douchebag, though.
He was, but I liked him.
He was good in it. That was an acting role for him.
That was a stretch. He wasn't just show up, show your teeth.
Right. Last Samurai, effectively a remake of Dance with Wolves. So, yeah, he just, he played the best for a long time, and then he didn't. Then he went and did Tropic Thunder and kind of broke things up a little bit.
Well, and now he's the best, or what was the best spy again in Mission Impossibles.
And Jack Reacher.
No, he is not the best Jack Reacher.
He's not the best Jack Reacher.
Jack Reacher is 6'5".
Yep.
Yeah, just...
That's why I liked Edge of Tomorrow was probably the last movie I saw him in that I liked.
Was that the one where Every Day Repeated?
Yeah, it was basically...
What was the one he did with Jamie Foxx, and he
that was good
bleached
too,
his
yeah.
hair? I heard he was good
too.
in that.
Yeah, that was actually good.
And
good
again,
flick.
very much against time.
Collateral, yeah.
Okay.
That was actually a movie by Michael Mann that I actually enjoyed. So...
Yeah, that sounds right, because I remember them saying it looked like a Michael Mann film. It just had that, I don't know. To me, anytime I think of a Michael Mann film, I see Miami Vice.
Right.
Even watching the parts of the Miami Vice movie I watched look like an episode of Miami Vice. It just got that style to it.
Michael Mann and Joel Schumacher are the two stylistically that still make period pieces for all intents and purposes. I mean, their movies all look like they have always looked. Like Joel Schumacher was a window designer for somebody in New York, as Neiman Marcus or Macy's or whatever, and then he went on to be a film director. And you can tell his movies are very aesthetically pleasing. Lost Boys, he added all this neon light and stupid shit to Batman and nipples.
He effectively ruined the Batman franchise.
Totally, by adding his...
Yeah, just he took it back to I think he wanted to do the 70s or the 70s TV show he grew up with.
TV show, yeah.
Yeah, which was
which
was great for then, but not the direction the franchise should have went.
Right.
And pretty much just killed it.
Yeah. Pretty bad when Tim Burton, who wasn't even a fan of the comics, did better with it than Joel Schumacher did.
I still like Burton's original Batman. The only issue I had with it was the suit.
Yeah.
Just because of how it limited
Right.
the movement. It just made it awkward. But other than that, I kind of liked it.
Yeah, I did too.
It had a good tone.
Brought Vicky Vale into the Batcave. Like, come on, Alfred.
Yeah.
Really,
like,
Alfred?
Really? Come on. Yeah.
I would have fired that old asshole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He quit in the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Christian Bale fired him.
Yeah. Well, then he died in the other ones. The ones with Batman.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, no one remembers that because they don't remember that movie. But
no,
Alfred did die.
Yeah, I forgot that.
I like the Alfred in the Gotham TV series. Have you watched that at all?
No, I don't care. It doesn't make sense to me. All of Batman's villains are that much older than him because he's a little kid.
Maybe, yeah.
And then there was something I saw online. They're like, "Ooh, he begins to to venture towards being Batman. It's like, isn't he still 11? It's like, what the hell are you talking about? It just seems ridiculous. Smallville, I kind of got the idea, like, okay, Clark Kent in high school, I can kind of dig it. And the first season was all right. Then it just became a sappy WB romantic comedy.
Yeah, and the villain of the week.
Yeah, and just totally lost me on it.
Yeah,
then
I agree.
They tried to bring in other heroes. It didn't work.
Yeah, I agree.
So I totally lost interest in it, and I never bought him as Superman. I think he was a better Clark Kent.
He was definitely a better Clark Kent than he was Superman.
Yeah.
And Dean King was a better Clark Kent than he was Superman.
Oh, yeah, much.
Yeah.
Much. They've got him on Supergirl now, and Terry Hatcher.
Yeah.
And Kevin Sorbo.
Now, I like the guy they got for the Superman on Supergirl.
Yeah, he works.
He's good.
He works, and it much better than what DC's put out in the cinemas.
Right.
Better than Henry Cavill. And that's not a knock on Cavill. I just think they've given him absolutely nothing to work with.
Right.
I think they've just, direct scripts.
Yeah.
They could have put him on Supergirl and probably wouldn't have knocked it out of the park.
Right. It's just he's a melancholy, sad Superman.
Yeah, and I think he could do more.
Yeah, definitely do more.
So it all comes down to the quality of writing, which you don't really, as we've talked about, you don't really get during the summer.
No, you don't.
That's going to be all visual effect.
Yep.
There are some films out there, still a happy median. We talked about that. Rogue One, Force Awakens, so hopefully
we'll see a movement towards that instead.
You would hope. Last Jedi, again, kind of hopeful. And maybe we'll talk about Rogue One coming up. Maybe we can talk about CGI.
Yeah.
Because there was some interesting CGI in Rogue One that we'll talk about, some spoilery stuff CGI. If you haven't seen it.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's talk about CGI.
All right. So, hey, tell you what, kids, if you come back next Monday, at whatever time you choose to come back on Monday, join Brandon and I, and we will talk about CGI in films. See what you think of that. And if you have any comments you'd like to add to that, reach out to us on Twitter. Brandon, what is our Twitter handle? It is love2hate pod at Twitter, or just
at love
that
hate pod. Yeah,
at love2hate pod on Twitter. Then Correct. There's our Facebook page, which is Love to Hate, and then you can also find our Love to Hate YouTube channel. There is no video yet. Maybe, possibly someday we could add some video to that. But until then, you can go on there and leave your comments as well. Thanks for spending another 30 minutes with us. We'll talk to you next week.
See you then.